Fangio then, he will be determined to start 1951 in the best way possible to try to replicate what he did in Monza, but Farina will want to get back in there, and Fagioli has the World Championship to defend. Let's see how this goes then. All the three Alfa Romeos pretty level at the start, but Fagioli now drops back, having had a little bit of a contact with Farina, and Fagioli, in fact, he's really swaying and veering, and now Fagioli is over, and he is off. Ascari's got his Ferrari through in the third. Sanesi caught up in the instant with Fagioli, so Farina and Fangio, they are 1 and 2 with Ascari in the Ferrari, really close behind. I think they've had a bit of contact as well, and that's both of them over, up and over, and Ascari somehow avoids getting taken out in that melee, but both of the Alfa Romeos, the top Alfa Romeos left in the race are out, I think, and well, that means Ascari has a nice comfortable lead. Ascari leading clearly, then it's Chiron, and Whitehead is off. It wasn't the Maserati, it was Whitehead's private Ferrari, but Whitehead is now off in an instant with Felipe Tancelon, and that means that Johnny Clies will climb up into third place, and I think Gerard has been affected by that as well. He would have been fourth, don't know if he will be now. Benetto in the Alfa Romeo, the fifth or sixth Alfa Romeo, when the backup ones is off, and he's gone for a nice little cruise through the rolling countryside there. He'll see lots of scenery, but he's not going to see any points unless he can get back on pretty quickly, because Franco rolls. Oscar is coming up, Giro Cabantu there as well, but Benetto, yeah, he's certainly taking the scenic route back on the track, and that gives Roll a chance to pass him, and Benetto with a lot of work to do. There's Sterling Moss, remember he started last in 32nd, and Godia had a lot of pace, was trying to come up and catch him, and he's lost it, and Moss will hold on to his 7th place there, and Bob Gerard in 5th in the era, and Moss has had a spin, and Godia goes past and has a spin and a roll, and somehow still keeps his car in one piece. Well, those Alfa Romeos had a little, there's another off, that's Harry Shell, and look, I think he's lost his wheel, but did he lose his wheel? I can't probably see. Parnell now up into 8th in the van wall, but yeah, the Alfa Romeos, they've had one little touch on something and they're out of the race, but Godia has had 2 or 3 high impact heavy spins, and he's still running. Here comes Alberto Ascari though, and he is looking to win the race. He is comfortably ahead of everybody. What a great start to 1951 for Alberto Ascari in the Ferrari, and he is the winner of the Swiss Grand Prix. We wait to see who is going to follow behind him. It should be Chiron, but everybody else is having moments, and anybody could be third. Starting on pole, Alberto Ascari, and he has got Franco Roll and Louis Rosier off to his right. What happens here? Rosier is away really well in the Toulo initially, but then has a little bit of a stutter, and Ascari gets straight through to continue his lead from Switzerland here in Indianapolis, and Godia gets past Rosier as well, and Rosier is under pressure for that 4th place, and he's going to lose that as well. Rosier then back down into 5th. You can see the HWM of Sterling Mossy started in 7th after a good race of survival in Switzerland. Farina is out already, you can hear that, so yeah, doesn't look like things are getting much better for Alfa Romeo. Ascari leads Roll and leads Godia. They are pretty close together, so this promises quite an entertaining race in all honesty, because those Roll and his Oscar and Godia and his Maserati, they are going to aim to keep that Ferrari honest, and so far they are doing so. Ascari's got a little bit of advantage, but nothing major at all, and as it comes around, and I think they're nearly completing the first lap already, aren't they? Well, they're sort of 3/4 around the lap, and Ascari comes around and completes it. He still has Franco Roll and Paco Godia right up behind him. Ascari coming up behind another back marker. This is the gist of what we're going to see in this race, I think, but it's not too far. Roll and Parnell aren't too far from Ascari. If Ascari was to get really badly balked, there is a possibility they could catch him, but we know Ascari's got the fastest car, and he's at the moment the superior driver, so yeah, that's so that will be well, that's Ascari off. I think he ran into a back marker. We couldn't really see from the distance, but Ascari has run into a back marker, and he is out of the Grand Prix. That is the race leader out, and now Franco Roll with an amazing opportunity to claim a victory for Oscar in only their 2nd Grand Prix. Parnell in 2nd, and Roll leading the race. So Reg Parnell now in his private Ferrari, he can sniff the chance. Well, actually, is that Roll there? Is Parnell right up behind it? I thought that was a back marker, but no, I think that's actually Franco Roll, and Reg Parnell is right behind him. So we do have a battle for the lead in this United States Grand Prix. Roll, is he getting balked? Is Roll getting balked by the back marker there? I think he is. And Van Vel, no, that's who runs the car. Parnell is closing up, and you can see he's really closing up Reg Parnell. He fancies his chances here. This is an opportunity for the American Grand Prix victory for Reg Parnell. It's also an opportunity for Franco Roll, but he's seeing it possibly slip before his eyes as he's struggling more and more and more to maintain his position in this race, because Reg Parnell is there, he's right there, and he wants that position. Well, Roll is still circulating with Parnell right behind him, and we'll go to the zoomed out on board, and now we'll go back to the
Reg Parnell
normal TV camera, and Reg Parnell takes the lead, storms through and takes the lead from Franco Roll. So Reg Parnell into the lead of United States Grand Prix. This, he started 10th on the grid. Don't think he would have seen this coming before the race, especially when they all looked after Switzerland and went, that Ascari Ferrari is unbeatable, but Ascari has stuffed it into a back marker and retired from the race, and he's also given himself a very difficult job to do for the next race, because he is going to start, I think, 18th in the next Grand Prix, so he's going to have to come through the field and do it all again. He didn't start that low in Switzerland, he started 6th there, and so yeah, we might see a very entertaining race in the next race, because that's going to be Ascari having to come through. We know he's the quickest driver, but today that quickest driver is Reg Parnell. He is the guy who has survived. He's still in it, and Roll has had a bit of a, I think he got held up by a back marker and got pinched between the back marker and the wall, and Franco Roll is just speeding up again, but that gives Parnell a chance to really cement his advantage. But here we go, let's have a look at that fin wall special from another angle. Here's a very beautiful car, absolutely no doubt about it, and let's enjoy this for a bit. By today's standards, that sounds like a lawnmower, but in the 1950s, these were the top cars of their time, and you have to respect the guys who went out there and did all this with very little protection compared to what the Formula 1 drivers have today. Well, Reg Parnell now, he is coming through the final corner. I'm going to risk declaring and building him up for the win, and hoping he doesn't have another lap to do. Here is Reg Parnell coming across the line, and it is going to be a United States Grand Prix victory for Reg Parnell, and I got the lap count right. Well done, Andy. So here is Parnell then. It is another chance to get a victory today, but he is going to have a lot of competition. They're all back together on the grid. So let's see, Parnell moving away, and quite quickly, and that's Fisher with a good start. Roll a little slow away, and he's, I think, delaying or trying to hold off Peter Whitehead, whose Private Ferrari is up in the 4th place at this moment. So Parnell under pressure from Rudy Fisher already. They're both Private Ferraris. They'll both be trying to do what they can before the Works Ferraris come through, and that's Whitehead has spun away his 4th place already, and Kleiss hits him, and Godia is in a spin as well. That's a shame for Godia, because we know he's quick, fast but flawed, Godia, this year, but he normally gets into the points. However, I think he might find it difficult to get back into the points now, because he has lost a lot of ground with that spin already. As Parnell gets away, Kleiss is up in the 4th. It's his home Grand Prix. Can he pull off points? We know he's got some quick cars behind him. Look, Taruffi, Shell, Ascari already up into 8th place, and that's a spinner. That's the Graffenried. He was up just about to challenge for points, and Alfa haven't got any points this season yet, but de Graffenried spins off. So Alfa Romeo having trouble already in this race, and their top car is already out of the Grand Prix. I mean, so they're all past. Kleiss, I think, has dropped down to 7th. Shell is in the 5th. Ascari in the 6th, and Fisher has got an issue, I think. I don't know if he made a mistake or if he's lost the gear, but Fisher there, he's about to lose 3rd place to Piero Taruffi, and he's, I don't know, did he? Maybe he's recovering from the mistake. We flicked away to watch Shell and Ascari at that point, so we don't know if Fisher has made a mistake or if he's lost the gear. If he's lost the gear, it's going to be very hard for him to stay in the points. If he's just made a mistake, he should be able to stay where he is. But Taruffi has gone past him into the podium places. There is Parnell, there's Roll, there's Taruffi. That is a Works Ferrari, so they are working their way forward. And that's Ascari off! Oh, he's done it again! I don't know. He was obviously trying to pass Harry Shell for the points and put himself maybe on maybe it was just a bit of dirty track and it carried him out wide, but Ascari has spun off, he's lost the wheel, and Ascari goes out again. 2 races out of 3. He was hoping after Switzerland this would be his year, but this now is looking like it's going to have to be a big fight back if it's going to be his year, because Reg Parnell is not only leading, but he is getting clear, and he is about to take his second victory of the season. And look, that's, I think, someone else passing Johnny Clyde's. Godia coming back into the race. He's now up to 6th place. And then you got Peter Walker. You got another spinner there. That's Gonzalez. He's gone all the way up to 12th on his debut for Ferrari, but I think he's had an issue with Benetto's Alfa Romeo, and they are both out of the Grand Prix. So more issues there for Alfa Romeo, and some more issues for some of the Ferraris. They're not all finding it as straightforward as Reg Parnell and Piero Taruffi in this race as well. Here comes Parnell through the final corner. It's going to be a second win in the last 2 races for Reg Parnell, and the combination of Brit and Private Ferrari are working beautifully. Reg Parnell wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Roll finishes second. That will extend. Will it extend the championship lead for him? I think I'll have to do the calculations there. But Roll is being consistent, but he hasn't won a race yet. But Reg Parnell has taken 2 wins now this season. So it is developing very, very nicely for Reg Parnell and Ferrari in this year's World Championship. So Parnell then, he starts on pole. He is ready. He is aiming to go for 3 wins from the last 3 races. Can anybody stop him today? It is absolutely drenching rain, as you can see. Parnell away fairly well, but I think Roll has got a little bit of a march there, but Parnell will get the power down, and now he will be able to get back into that leading position, I believe. Roll holding the fort, which will mean that it's difficult for Taruffi to get past, and there we go. So, oh, and there's a slide from, I'm not sure, I can't see who it is. That's Fisher, I think. And is that Taruffi? No, it's Whitehead. Whitehead always seems to go off early in the race, doesn't he? He's done it again here. Instant with Fisher. So Fisher blows a great position. Got around, spun around, but it is wet, and that is certainly not going to help the guys trying. But look at Roll, having a little look at Reg Parnell here. He wants to try to get a win. He's got the consistency this year. Now he needs to pull the win out of the hat, and he will certainly be trying here. He's got down the inside of the Ferrari, and then we go behind the camera, which is going to make it difficult to see. We'll see what happens when I come out the other side. Parnell, we can see his onboard now. He is still in the lead by the looks of it, and Roll hasn't just tucked back in the second, he's lost ground, and Taruffi has got through. So Franco Roll dropping to 3rd place behind Parnell and Taruffi in the Works Ferrari. And then a bit of a gap to 4th, 5th, well, not 6th anymore, because Gonzalez has had a spin. He had done really well, actually, gone from 14th to 6th, and that's a spin for a Talbot there as well, the Talbot of a Tantalin. Parnell continues to lead Taruffi, and that's enough. Who is that? That is Franco Roll. I think he just locked his, that wasn't even a braking zone, and he's locked his brakes and gone off. He has blown what was a really good position and dropped, I think, to 6th out of the points. So Mr. Consistent has made a mistake, and that is unfortunate for Franco Roll, dropping down the order. Parnell leading Grand Prix, and where's Taruffi? Taruffi has dropped off. Is he out? Has he made a mistake, or is he out of the race? There's Taruffi, so he's made a mistake somewhere, and he has lost a lot of ground. Now this surely gives Reg Parnell now the free ticket for the victory. Clyde moves up on the 5th. I think someone must have had an issue there then. Oh no, it's been a racy pitting, wasn't it? I think Clyde now into 5th place, and Ascari behind him in 6th has passed Swatter, now up behind the other Belgian Talbot, and Alberto Ascari getting very slidey there. It's difficult to pass offline because it's just so wet offline, but Ascari is having a look. He's in a Ferrari with great grip, but we know Ascari has made a couple of mistakes since his dominant victory in the season opener. Doesn't make a mistake there, and through he goes. Franco Roll up into 4th, away off Piero Taruffi. Shell running in 2nd place. What a fantastic performance from Harry Shell in that Maserati. Really going well, and Maserati is starting to look like a little bit of a threat for some good results, just like they were last year in the space of 2 laps. And that's Clyde out of the race. That's a shame, because Johnny Clyde has been having such a great run this season, and look, everybody I think is pitting. So what's going on here? Is that Parnell's Vanwell out of the race? It is. I think they're all pitting. There's chaos in there. There's room. They can't get into their pit boxes and get back out again, so they are retiring from the Grand Prix. Well, Roll is classed as the leader, but I think Roll is out. Is anybody going to finish the race here? We've still got, look, Taruffi pulling in there, and Still got a few runners. Well, I would have strongly advised against pitting now, but they're all continuing to pit. This is absolute crazy. This is becoming a bit farcical, to be honest with you. Graffenried moves up to third, and then he pulls in, and it looks like it's going to be the same for him in retirement. What on earth is going on with the AI here? They're not just destroying their races by pitting Louischiron into the lead, as his pit box is further up. There's no cars running, I don't think. I'm scrolling through now. Well, this is absolutely farcical. There are no runners left in this Grand Prix. We're 2/3 of the way through, but it is going to be over. What are we going to do here? I think Chiron is classed as being in the lead, so it's going to be Chiron's win. Surely. This is absolutely crazy. Harry Schell loses second place, and Reg Parnell drops totally out of the points. Well, how gutting for them. Right, here we go. Here is Chiron preparing to get away from the grid. We have Roll, we have de Graffenried, we have Ascari. That is the front row of 4 here at Silverstone, and away they go. And look at that. Initially Ascari makes a good start, but I think what's going on? I think they're trying to pit. I think they're trying to get across into the pit lane straight from the start. Well, this is absolute chaos. Absolute chaos. And already the pit lane in the wet is going to cost. I can't see them all being able to continue from that. De Graffenried leads away. Gonzalez is up to second. Chiron is in third. Taruffi fourth. I think that's Fovrin and Parker all the way up from right near the back of the grid. Just look at the chaos that is developing in the pit lane. And I think a lot of those cars are out, including Ascari. So Ascari, once again, has made the wrong decision, and that is going to cost him his chance to do anything. And there's the traditional Alfa Romeo multiple retirement early on. So they are all going out. That's something. And Benetto hoping to maybe get Alfa's first points. He's right behind Fovrin and Parker, but he has had enough. He continues. Benetto has been the Alfa driver who's looked, I think, most solid this year. That's not saying a lot by their standards because their cars aren't solid, but Benetto trying there, but not succeeding. And we've got de Graffenried getting away in these wet conditions in his Maserati. A great chance for the former Alfa Romeo driver to get a win here for Maserati. And although Gonzalez, that Ferrari will be quick, especially if it dries. At the moment it's not drying, and Gonzalez is a safe distance behind de Graffenried, and I think de Graffenried maybe even pulling away slightly. Taruffi in third as well. So it's the Maserati in the lead, and then 2 Ferraris behind him, and then the Talbot of Chiron still currently sitting in 4th place. It's Fovrin and Parker still. Benetto is that's going to be out of the race. That's not like his earlier spin. That is a proper upside down moment, and Benetto out of the Grand Prix. Gonzalez, you can see, is starting to catch de Graffenried, and Taruffi is going along with him. Gonzalez pulling Taruffi along with him. So 2 Ferraris still very much in contention in this Grand Prix. Ascari might have gone out at the start. What a silly thing for the AI to do, to try to pull across a path of 3 cars that were alongside him to get into the pits, and of course it was going to end up in tears, and it ended in tears for a lot of them. You can see there's already a lot of cars retired, and the guys who are still racing thinking better of going into the pits at the moment, and that is the truth, because otherwise we're going to see another situation like France. And that's Fagioli off. He was still running on the Alfa Romeo, the world champion. No points for him at all this year, and it's going to be the same again. That's probably the highest he's run since the opening race, to be honest, and that's a shame. Sanesi off as well, but Fagioli now out of the race. So traditional for Alfa Romeo, not getting very far at all. This will give surely an advantage to Ferrari as it dries out. Gonzalez is catching up to Toulo de Graffenried, and he is going to want to cause problems for that Maserati. He is closing in at quite a rate of knots, and this is the thing now. We're just waiting to see how this develops. Gonzalez really is closing in at a rate of knots now. He won the 1951 British Grand Prix in real life, and I think it very well may happen that he's going to do it in this series as well, because Gonzalez really closing in to Toulo de Graffenried. The track has dried out. There is nothing to stop that Ferrari showing exactly what it can do, and that is what Gonzalez is seeking to do right now.
Already in the pits.
Oh, we can hear Ferrari are out in the pits. I hope that's not for Gonzalez, because that will rob us of a fantastic race, because that's going to be the AI surely not being able to get out of the pits again. We're going to see, we could see, I hope we don't, but we could see a situation like France where everybody retires at the end of the second lap again. It's 2 laps out of 4 to Graffenried. Still leads. Gonzalez, is he going to be able to challenge? Is he going to avoid the pits? They might be pitting Taruffi instead. We'll have to wait and see. But de Graffenried continues to lead the race. And then they've got Gonzalez and Taruffi still. Gonzalez a little bit wide there, but I'm sure he can deal with that okay. There's Chiron in 4th, I think. He might be due a pit as well. And that is Gonzalez. He is pitting. He's taking it very easy because he doesn't want to end up. But that's thrown away any chance of the victory. Gonzalez goes in and Taruffi goes in behind him. And oh, there we go. Bangs his teammate. If Gonzalez could have continued, he won't continue now. Not facing him in that angle.
Is running third.
So that's going to be Gonzalez up. Taruffi up in a second, but will he finish the race? And Chiron pitting as well. So 2nd, 3rd and 4th, all in the pits. We thought they'd learn the lesson by staying out, but they haven't stayed out, and I think they're all going to be out. Well, Chiron has actually got a pit crew out, so he might actually be alright. He might get out of the pits again. Let's watch Chiron's pit stop because he could come out away in a net 2nd place, and this would put him right in the championship scenario. Is he going to survive that pit stop? Well, here comes his teammate. Is his teammate going to blow it? I don't know. He's gone past. It looks like Chiron's just retired, actually. In spite of that, so they did all the pits. Everything was looking good. Chiron had space to get out, and then he retired. So, well, there's that. Now, this. That's Reg Parnell, and he's not classified. He's apparently running ahead of everybody or behind everybody. I think it might be that little black flag in the corner. Parnell might have been disqualified. I've never known a situation before when an AI car gets disqualified, but Parnell is still running. He's not pulling into the pits. So, well, we'll have to assume that he might be in the race still. I don't know. But there is a little black flag in the top left corner. So I'm assuming Parnell has got a penalty at least of some sort. Or maybe he's just a lap down. But, he's struggling there. He's trying to catch up to Pilette. This is well, it would be for 2nd if he didn't have some sort of penalty looming over him. But if he's been disqualified, why is he still racing? That's the thing I don't get. Well, I guess we'll soon find out. We've seen many curiosities on this game, and I've just discovered a new one. Parnell, I think, is just doing a demonstration run for the crowd now, surely. But he goes inside alongside Pilette, but then he pulls over and lets him back through, does he? What's going on here? This must just be showcasing for the crowd because there's only 5 cars left. We've got to have some form of entertainment. I don't think the Simca Gordinis are going to race each other. I think they're just going to maintain and try to hold on to that 3rd and 4th. They're actually having a very good race here. But Parnell zooms back past Pilette as well. He's clearly quick. This is the thing that'll be frustrating for Reg Parnell. Now, I'm not sure if he lost a lap or if he would genuinely have that position had it not been for his black flag. But Parnell, you'd have to assume, would be battling for 2nd place in this race. And if he gets it and he's got the pace to get it, that would have put him level on points with Franco Roll at the top of the championship. So whatever Parnell has done, it's a serious own goal. Parnell has made his way past Pilette and comfortably past Pilette, but it is Pilette who is classed as the 2nd place runner in this Grand Prix. And I do believe, very much looking through, that there is definitely only 4 runners plus Parnell. De Graffenried wins the British Grand Prix. What a great way, and it's the 2nd consecutive win in Silverstone for Maserati, with Chiron winning it last year for them. Toulo de Graffenried wins the British Grand Prix. An absolutely fantastic display of dominance. He was under pressure from Fronian Gonzalez and Piero Taruffi early in the race, but Ferrari's strategy decision. Where have we heard that before? Ferrari's strategy decision meant that de Graffenried after that was unopposed in the second half of the race. It has just been an absolute parade for Toulo de Graffenried, and he will take that victory very happily, having started the season in a very disgruntled manner at Alfa Romeo. He got away from Alfa Romeo, he took a win, and his Pilette comes through to claim 2nd place, nearly a minute behind de Graffenried, but a good performance nonetheless from Pilette. He did all he could, and he's got the 2nd place. And then the Simca Gordini's about to cross the line for 3rd and 4th. Here we go then, de Graffenried on pole, Pilette, and then Simon and Manzon. They are on the front row together, and de Graffenried is slow away. That's not good at all. Pilette takes the lead, but then it all goes a bit wrong for him, and de Graffenried finds the power and gets away. Look at Peach, he's made a good start now for Romeo, at least initially, but then they all back up, and it goes back to basically order. To Graffenried leads in the turn one. There's Pilet. You've got the two Simca Gordini still in third, and that's great news for de Graffenried and Pilet because they are working together to block the likes of the Talbots and Ferraris from getting through. They won't be able to do that for the entirety of the race, but they can do it for now. There's a Ferrari, I think, up in the fifth. That's Taruffi, and now he's got to run the Simca Gordini's tried to block the path, but was simply not able to. And Taruffi powers through. So much of a quicker car as he got. Taruffi powers through into the podium places, and very quickly indeed onto the tail of Andre Pilet. Here is de Graffenried, and he has got Taruffi right on his tail. Taruffi is really there, really pushing. We wondered if de Graffenried would get away. He hasn't. There is a, you can hear on that Maserati engine something quite special. It's starting to sound like a, well, one Formula One car, a bit more screamy and buzzy there. But it's not quite as quick as it looks because Taruffi is there, and Taruffi is applying pressure under Graffenried, and he'll be looking to take this lead. De Graffenried cuts across. For now, he still leads the German Grand Prix, but this is looking very, very ominous. It's a long circuit, and Taruffi goes through, and de Graffenried, in trying to fight it off, has had a spin, and that might just affect de Graffenried. Was hoping to get into the World Championship battle with Roland Parnell struggling. Well, that's going to affect de Graffenried. Can he actually keep it going? That looks like pretty bad, although, that'll be it for de Graffenried, surely. The Pilet going off. Although, no, I think that's actually turned de Graffenried back onto the track. I think de Graffenried would have found it hard to get back into a position there where he could have rejoined the track. He might have had to have gone out of the race, but look at those Talbots up in second and third. But de Graffenried, as a result of Pilet going off and spinning into him, I think Pilet will be out of the Grand Prix. De Graffenried has been turned back on track. He's in fourth place. He's still got a chance. That's Villoresi. Not looking like he's got much of a chance of getting back onto the circuit. He's going to do the loop. Whoa! Well, that's that is monster truck F1. I think that is spectacular. The Villoresi back on the circuit and back into sixth place. He's just on the edge of points and roll off. That's a shame for Franco Roll. Got all the way up to 8. Looked like he was recovering, but he's got a tank slapper on. Loses the wheel. Franco Roll out of the race. You can hear it. Those two Talbots sound like an absolute glugging bathtub, whereas the de Graffenried Maserati sounds like a prime racing vehicle. And through goes de Graffenried on Levay. That's one move past the bathtub. I apologise, Talbot. I couldn't resist it. And then Villoresi is up into fifth now. He's got past Simon, so Villoresi, having done the monster truck jump to get himself back onto the track, is now into the tail end of the points in fifth place. So things looking pretty decent for Ferrari at the moment. They've got 2 cars in the points. Gonzalez, things aren't going according to plan for him. That is a engine failure for, I think that's, is it Duncan Hamilton? And Moss is getting a face full of engine smoke. Hamilton. And a Tantalon now. The time has come for a Tantalon to come under pressure from de Graffenried. De Graffenried, having had that off, looking like he would have been out of the race, is about to move back into second place, almost certainly. Here is a move coming from the Swiss driver on the French driver. De Graffenried, no, at the moment can't find the way. He's trying to pick the ideal path, and Tantalon is just holding the middle of the circuit because he knows that is going to make it as difficult for the de Graffenried as it's possible to make it. But de Graffenried does slip through with a car that much more powerful and a driver on that much good form. It was hard not to. And I think the Tantalon is stuck in gear. Oh, how disappointing for Felipe Tantalon, because he has a chance, a really major chance to get a podium, the first podium of his career here. But it might be his teammate Pierre Levay, who also doesn't have a podium, who stands to benefit from this one. And that battle between the two Talbots is keeping things interesting for sure, because Taruffi has got quite a significant lead over de Graffenried, had more pace than de Graffenried at the start. De Graffenried, not likely to pass him, has done everything he can in that Maserati, and he's in a good position, don't get me wrong. Villoresi there ahead of David Murray. So I think Murray is up into the points. I think the positions are still not quite right. So look, Tantalon has been passed by Levay, and now Villoresi will be the next one to come up behind the Tantalon. And I would imagine in a Ferrari versus a Talbot that is stuck in gear, he's going to catch up to him pretty quickly. This is a moment for Ferrari that they need to savour, because if they can get back on the winning trail, that might just boost their confidence and enable them to win a lot more races before the end of the season. And there goes Villoresi on a Tantalin. A Tantalin is absolutely powerless to fight that. And David Murray in the Maserati is coming up. He'll be the next one to pass a Tantalin. What a shame for Felipe Tantalon. He was at one point in second place. Look at that. You can see the gap between Levay and Villoresi. Villoresi trying to catch Levay, but he's actually showing. I think Villoresi's lost a gear, or he's just breaking down. Once again, it is not going perfectly according to plan for Ferrari. It is going wrong. At least it's still going right for Piero Taruffi, but Villoresi, you can see he's got some sort of issue. Is he stuck in gear, or is it maybe even worse than that? But Tantalin, he's stuck in gear, but he's not stuck in gear as badly as Villoresi. Tantalin might, well, no, Tantalin might have been about to get in the points, but he couldn't get the acceleration to get past him, and Branca goes past both of them. That is Branca in the Maserati now into the points, and I think this might be his first race of the season, so he's come all the way up from the back of the grid to run in 5th place. Great work from Tony Branca there. And still Tantalon is struggling to pass Villoresi, and now he's been hit by another Talbot. Not quite sure which Talbot that is, but it's out. And also Tantalon surely going to be out because he's missing a wheel, and Villoresi has been taken out as well. And that is one of those guys out. Taruffi is not far off of completing the job now of winning the German Grand Prix. Through he comes, and he's going to be, I believe, the start finish straight now. It widens out, and Piero Taruffi crosses the line and wins the German Grand Prix. So there is Piero Taruffi on pole position, and he will be looking to try to get a second win in a row. A second win in a row for Taruffi would put him up to 20 points and potentially right into the championship battle. And Taruffi away as well. Lefay actually made a very good initial start, but Fischer has made an even better start. That's the private Ferrari. He has got into the lead, and well, how would it go down for Ferrari if the private one beats all of their regular cars? Well, they've seen it already with Reg Parnell beating them this season, but obviously here they moved to BRM, so he's not a threat now. And
Alberto Ascari.
that Van der Velde Ferrari, that Finwall Special, has since been retired, and it's just Peter Whitehead in his private Ferrari and Fischer in that one, and Landy in a private Ferrari as well today. But Taruffi has gone back through into the lead, so Taruffi is back in the lead. This is looking potentially promising for him, but he'll have the likes of Gonzalez and Villoresi trying to come through. They are in works Ferraris as well, and but it won't be Ascari. Ascari, we've heard, has already gone out of the race. So a season that started so well for Alberto Ascari ends up with him not being able to mathematically catch Franco Roll in the championship quite early in this Italian Grand Prix. It is a very wet race, and I wonder if are we going to see the pit stops, but people might not finish the race just because they're trying to pit for different tyres. I think it's, by the looks of this, it's going to stay wet all race. So, you know, but there you go. Some are pitting, and I think, which Ferrari is it going to be? Do they really want to throw away Taruffi, get him right into the championship battle? It's the sort of thing Ferrari would potentially do this season. And Taruffi is slowing down. He is preparing for a pit stop, I believe. What's going to happen with Fischer? He is preparing for a pit stop too. So who's going to pit? Is that going to? Are they going to leave Villoresi and Gonzalez out there? Are they going to affect? Are Ferrari going to hamstring their championship challenge with their other cars? We'll have to wait and see. So where are they? They've all going through the pit lane. Gonzalez pits, but Villoresi stays out. So Villoresi, that is for position, and Luigi Villoresi is going to get up into the podium positions. Whitehead, he has had enough. So Whitehead, clumsy little moment in that Ferrari, and off he goes. This time they are all pitting, including Villoresi. Villoresi stayed out last time, but they're all pitting now. Tantalon could have actually gained position there, but he's decided to pit as well. I think it's just becoming a matter of course that they are all just, they can't actually pit on this track properly, but they're all just, as a matter of course and being cautious, going through the pit lane rather than down the pit straight. Maybe just to take up a little bit of speed if nothing else in these conditions. Well, look, there's a spun out car, a spun out Belgian Talbot in the middle of the road, and will they all be able to avoid him? This is the sort of thing that does tend to go wrong as a hitch for Ferrari. But they've all got through. All the top four got through. Will a Tantalin get through as well? We'll wait to see that. But here comes now Piero Taruffi, and he's not that far from the finish line now. Is it going to be another cautious drive for the pit lane. Surely he's just going to cross the finish line this time. Although if he wins a race in the pits, he will take that record. 47 years before Michael Schumacher takes it in real life. So, well, Piero Taruffi will be looking at this. What happens here? Is he going to slow down? Yes, he is. So, well, this is the thing now. If anybody wants to take the victory from him, they could just simply keep going and not pit, and they would win the Italian Grand Prix out of those top four. But I think they're all Ferraris, and they will not be doing that. They will all be subserving behind Piero Taruffi, who is going to win the Italian Grand Prix and now be within 2 points of Franco roll for the World Championship lead with one final round to go at Pedrobles in Spain. Taruffi is the winner. Fantastic performance from him. Fantastic for Ferrari. It's a home Grand Prix and it's all gone right, and it is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Piero Taruffi lining up on pole position, has to be in the top 4 to win the World Championship today in the final round of the 1951 season. You have Fischer, you have Villoresi, and you have Gonzalez. They're all right fairly evenly, but what's going on here? It's all looking a bit slidey, and the free works Ferraris have instantly got ahead of Fischer. So, very disappointing for Fischer, but he's not in a works car. He's hoping that might come next year, but at the moment he isn't, and they all go through, and Taruffi, still leads the race as they go away. Villoresi is challenging Gonzalez, trying to head off Fischer there, and clearly, like we've seen on some of the tracks in other mods, track limits are not a thing here. The cars can drive through the hay bales with no issues at all. So, well, I was about to say most of the Alphas going off. We saw the Alphas actually, didn't we? Get involved. Some of the Alphas get involved in a scuffle already. So, once again, not looking good for Alfa Romeo, and to Graffenried is really going to have his work cut out. It's Taruffi leading Villoresi, and then you've got Gonzalez and Fischer. That's the top 4 still, those 4 Ferraris. And round Villoresi goes, through he goes. Taruffi didn't fight it. He knows that there's no point in fighting it when you just want to win the World Championship today, but he is suddenly looking vulnerable to Gonzalez and Fischer. And if he's in 4th place, it would only just be a 4th place. So Gonzalez going wide there, Fischer still in the battle behind. So it's all about those 4 Ferraris today, unless Parnell or de Graffenried starts to make progress. But, well, let's see. Roll can only win by Taruffi not scoring enough points, of course. He's not even here to celebrate it. Fischer has gone off, so obviously there are some collision mechanics in this, not necessarily going off through the barriers, and there's some chaos further back. Look, that's Godia. One of the cars going off and out, and there is, I think, de Graffenried has definitely retired. So, well, yeah, but Fischer is out, so that's one of those Ferraris. Gonzalez has also run out of road, and he is in a situation like Villoresi was in Nürburgring, but he doesn't have a monster truck jump to do to get him back into the race. So, 2 Ferraris at the front now then, and it's starting to play out quite badly for the others. Gonzalez is still actually in 4th place. Harry Schell up in the 3rd in the Maserati, and he looks to have pace to at least keep up with the Ferrari. So Taruffi needs to stay focused. He's close behind Villoresi, doesn't necessarily want to risk a move. Would Villoresi let him through to win the race? He doesn't need to. Gonzalez still in 4th, still off the road, and no spectacular jumps to do there. So, there's Ascari, he's come through well, he was at the back of the grid, and there's Parnell as well. Has gone forward, but has gone forward nowhere near enough. He needs to win the race, and when you look at the gap, yeah, not looking likely to happen at all. And Gonzalez is now losing a lot of ground. I don't know if the car is breaking down from not being on the right surface or what is going on there. So, this is what I was saying, although you can get away with running through the hay bales here and of certain parts, I don't think that applies to the posts. You've got collision mechanics on the post, and if you hit the post like Fischer did, you are going to be out of the Grand Prix. And so I've got to watch it, and with that in mind, that the cars do like to take a bit of a wide line here in Pedrobles, and Taruffi, if he ends up doing that, he could still go out of the race. So there's no guarantee that Piero Taruffi is going to win this World Championship yet. As long as he can just drive sensibly and hold 2nd, and he'll be fine. But will he do so? That is Chiron. So Louischiron, he was not quite in range of the championship, but he was hoping to have a good result to end the season. That hope is over, and Chiron is out of the race. And Ascari now has moved ahead of Duncan Hamilton, so Ascari is up in the 4th place. He's quite a way behind the top 3, but 4th place is a good position for him to be in. And we've got one more lap to go. One more lap until Piero Taruffi is crowned, and that would mean that the first 2 years of the Formula 1 World Championship have been 2 Italian world champions in Italian teams. That's if Taruffi can hold that position, which is looking hopeful now. We must say it's looking hopeful, but you can't take anything for granted in Formula 1. Villoresi, by the way, he is yet to claim a victory in Formula 1, so I think both the top 2 drivers would be extremely happy if it ends up like this. Taruffi got a little bit close to the post there, but it is looking good now. They're coming down the final straight, and luigivilloresi is going to take his first victory in Formula 1 in the World Championship era. Piero Taruffi is going to cross the line to be the world champion, and what a brilliant outcome for Ferrari. We thought they'd blown it, didn't we, like halfway through the season, but then Taruffi started putting together a run. He won in Germany, he won in Italy, and he finishes 2nd here. Piero Taruffi is the world champion. Fantastic.